Choose any ATM of your convenience and stand a chance to win gold sovereigns. Lanka Pay.
Releasing its report, Sri Lanka Development Update Opening Up to the Future, the World Bank noted that Sri Lanka's short-term growth outlook has improved. However, structural reform is essential to raising the medium to long-term growth potential. The global lender highlighted that faster than expected macroeconomic stabilization has improved the growth outlook to 4.4% year-on-year in 2024 as the economy continues to expand amid the rebound in industry and tourism, increased private credit and improved supply conditions. As per the report, fiscal consolidation is expected to continue, although the financing needs will remain high in the medium term. Further, the primary balance is projected to strengthen further to 1.6% to GDP in 2024 and move towards the IMF Extended Fund Facility target of 2.3% of GDP in 2025. In terms of post-restructuring, the World Bank noted that the debt is expected to decline to 106.2% of GDP in 2024, 102% by 2027 and gradually decline towards 95% in the outer years, in line with the target set by the IMF EFF program. According to the World Bank, the gross financing needs will remain high in the medium term, which is approximately 20.8% of GDP on average between 2024 and 2027, with reductions in the outer years, and are projected to stay below the IMF EFF target, which is an average of 13% of GDP in 2027 to 2032. However, this reduction in the gross financing needs hinges on the government's ability to replace maturing treasury bills, currently 13.2% of GDP, with longer treasury bonds, which is subject to absorptive capacity of the domestic market.
After a very painful economic crisis, stabilization has happened at a pace faster than most experts expected. Not so good news is that the country is not yet out of the woods. The pain that is experienced by Sri Lankans is huge. Country is still having a poverty rate of about 25%. Basically, every fourth Sri Lankan is poor. There are millions of Sri Lankans who are a shock away from poverty as well. The other is human development, health, education, social protection. They all have got hit by the crisis. And this is the reality that we're facing. And there is relatively narrow pathway forward. And unfortunately, there is no any magic, silver bullet out there. The good news is that the upside is big. Export is one of the biggest areas for Sri Lanka to grow, and sustainable growth is the biggest part of the solution. There are at least about $10 billion of untapped export potential in the country in several sectors. To untap this potential, several things need to happen. Investments are absolutely critical for untapping it. For investments, removing red tapes and making more level playing field for both domestic and foreign investments is critical. And then we come to sustaining reforms. And so I very much hope that the new leadership of the country and all stakeholders will really come together and will make sure that the policy momentum is maintained and the country finally starts moving in the direction it deserves to be, and we see rapid recovery.
The external sector, tourism has been regaining ground, and inflows from tourism and remittances have been strong. This has offset some of the trade deficit that's now coming in, with imports recovering faster than exports. Current account is expected to be in surplus already in the first half of the year, contributing to a balance of payments surplus and also foreign exchange liquidity. This means that the central bank has also been purchasing foreign exchange, which has contributed to an increase in the reserves and also to an appreciation of the rupee. The appreciation of the rupee and the improvement in supply conditions have led to a fall in inflation, although prices still remain high. But this month in September, we actually saw the first instance of deflation in a very long time, which will hopefully drive prices down. We've upgraded the Sri Lanka growth forecast now, so it's expected to be around 4.4% this year. Inflation and the external sector also have a positive outlook. However, there will be pressure on the external sector once debt repayments kick in again, and there's going to be pressure also on the current account once the vehicle import restrictions are lifted early next year. In addition to this, there will be scarring effects on the economy, and how fast these can be addressed will impact the medium term. After 2024, growth is still expected to start coming down, and for us to be able to address this requires tackling some of these causes which have the scarring effect, including lower investment in human capital, emigration of skilled labor, and also lower investment in physical capital from the government side.
So yeah, it's important that Sri Lanka maintains this policy consistency, particularly to protect these hard-won gains. And I'll firstly emphasize the monetary, financial and fiscal policies. There have been significant improvement in this consistency over the last couple of years. It's important that this is maintained. Sri Lanka also needs to scale up these structural reforms that have started to really set the country on a better path. So this would really help resolve some of these long-standing weaknesses, enhance competitiveness and address the root causes of the crisis.